I'll show you how it's done. Shazam!
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to our channel here at Underdeveloped, and today we are reviewing yet again another movie, and this one is by Paul Thomas Anderson. Yes, Paul Thomas Anderson, and it's his latest movie, One Battle After Another. It's one of the most highly anticipated films of the year. Raven reviews lead into this, saying it's the best film of the year, all that good stuff. Super high score on Tomatoes, so I went to this movie with a whole lot of expectations because in trailers looked amazing too. So I'm like, I was full-fledged rated. Dig deep. This was directed by, yet again, Paul Thomas Anderson. He's done films like There Will Be Blood, Phantom Thread, Inherent Vice,
Boogie Nights, The
my
Master.
favorites. Short, you know what I'm saying? So he has a lot of classics on his belt, so he's no Joe Schmo.
So, One Battle After Another is the story of this revolutionary, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. He's part of this group called the French 75, who is this very openly left-wing extremist group who they do things like bomb buildings and they rob banks and stuff. But he's not alone. Obviously, he's here with a whole bunch of people, most notably being Jungle Pussy, and also his love interest Teyana Taylor. But yeah, he and Teyana Taylor are getting it on. They're very much a couple. But Teyana Taylor also ends up doing some weird, sexual stuff with Sean Penn's character, which that eventually results in Teyana Taylor getting pregnant. It's a little unclear as to who the father is.
Well, in the beginning, it was pretty clear he was the father. So, Leonardo DiCaprio was the father throughout most of the movie. But then once he started questioning, it's like, okay, I mean, he did do some shit with her. So, I mean,
it was, to me as an audience member, I didn't feel like it was clear who the father was.
I mean, they were fucking on a regular, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
so my immediate alert, and also that's how
but
the
also
movie,
the very last scene before we see her be pregnant is Sean Penn fucking her. So
well, first of all, we didn't see Sean Penn. We saw them in a hotel room together, and she was doing some weird. She kind of was doing some dominatrix shit on him. So it wasn't necessarily them fucking. It was more them in the hotel room doing something weird. You know what I'm saying? It could have led to fucking, but it wasn't like.
Well, clearly it did.
Well, not necessarily because it was doing some dominatrix shit. It wasn't.
But we know we know the results of the test, dude.
Yeah, but you're saying that in hindsight, though. That's a hindsight thing. You said we know the test,
but
we didn't get that till way later in the movie.
Even as it was happening, as the movie itself, I was asking myself when I saw that belly, is that Sean Penn's kid or not? I don't know. I didn't think it was clear. I thought the intention was for us to question that.
Actually, when after everything, she's like, "Yo, you don't make my pussy wet. My pussy don't pop for you." She left that note for him. So that led me to thinking that did they even fuck? Oh, you know what I mean? Like,
no, that told me that they fucked it, but it wasn't good.
Maybe
that's exactly when I hear my pussy don't pop for you. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that you weren't good enough to make it. You weren't good enough to make me come. That's what I hear from that statement.
Sure, but the way I think it's an open interpretation more like in the fact, at least at that time, she was like kind of like using him to like kind of like obviously to subvert the law.
Yes.
So he gave
gave
him just enough to be satisfied. But I just wasn't. But because they didn't show them actually fucking, like, you know what I mean? But then doing some other weird, different shit, my mind went, okay, they did some weird kinky shit.
Yeah, they were doing kinky foreplay.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Kinky foreplay.
But it leads to sex.
Not necessarily.
That's what the fore and foreplay means.
That is not. Foreplay does not necessarily lead to sex. That's not true.
Usually it does.
No, it does not. And it's not. It not exclusively means, oh, they must have fucked. You know what I mean? No.
No, I very much got the impression that they were fucking.
Like, I did not, because her and Leo, they actually show the process that their foreplay looks like they led to sex because she got on top of him, started kissing him. That to me
because she
leads to sex.
Because she was actually into him, so it was more romantic in a sense.
That to me is what is something that looked like, okay, that led to sex. But her like fucking flip like fucking they standing up parallel to each other, and she kind of turned to the wall, pushed him to the wall, and he does some weird shit behind his back with I forgot with a paddle or some shit. That doesn't say me. It means that she just kind of like just is fucking around him to give him enough to make him. Maybe he's not even into sex. Maybe he's into like some other weird kinky shit.
Well,
like,
clearly he is into sex.
Yeah,
also.
that's after the fact. That's after the fact. I was saying that before that I wasn't necessarily thinking it. I was thinking it was some really weird shit, and she probably didn't even let him fuck. That's kind of because first of all, I already bought. Okay, she definitely not attracted him, so I don't think she's gonna let him hit. You know what I mean? Or their kind of attraction is way more than just simple like.
I mean, yeah, but even earlier, but even before we got to that point, we established that that he was willing to do that he was willing to let her get away with shit if he was willing to. She was willing to do sexual favors for him.
Yeah, what we had to know was that weird shit that she was doing with him, like that weird fetishy shit.
Yeah,
but I didn't necessarily translate that to sex.
Yeah, they had a power play thing where one kept taking power over the other. That was their dynamic.
But I didn't necessarily translate that to automatic sex. You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, just some weird kinky shit. It was just to keep him satisfied.
I don't understand what in your mind means kinky shit does not lead to sex. Those things are so linked.
No, it is not. It's definitely not.
Do you do kinky shit that doesn't lead to sex?
But it's also the kind of kinky shit that they were doing, and on top of it, the way it was framed was like it is seen like weird and fetishy, but it didn't necessarily it could, but it didn't scream, oh, they must have fucked. I think you're definitely like blowing that up, which is no. When I was like,
how can I be blowing that up when we know that I'm right in the end?
Well, right in the end now, but that's why they could set you up for that because there's so much ambiguity there. You know what I mean? Because in my mind, it automatically goes, oh, they must have fucked. Like, no, like
the ambiguity isn't whether or not they fuck. The ambiguity is whether or not that's his kid or not. That's what's supposed to be ambiguous.
No, I straight up no. It was not clear if they fuck. It is not clear at all.
Okay, we're gonna go in circles. So you in the comments let us know, what do you think it is? Do you think that it was ambiguous?
What
whether
they
or not
did
that
was so far from
whose
sex.
Kid that is?
Well, what they was far from
fuck.
any kind of sexual. It was some fucking weird, creepy, fetishy shit that I was not sure if that even led to anything else other than that. I think if they had sex, it would have showed more, like how her and Leo show more. Them kissing, getting on top of each other, them actually doing, you know what I mean? Because that also is what led to, okay, now she's pregnant, you know what I mean? Like, so to me, it's like it seems like she's really fucking him, Leo, and then probably giving him a bunch of weird, twisted favors because he came up with this weird guy that's into other shit. You know, I don't know. Like, actually, let me go to plot and see if that's so fucking.
I already told the audiences let us know what they think in the
That's
comments
fine,
below.
but I'm not going to get that
I don't see the point in us continuing this conversation when we know it's going to keep on going in fucking circles.
See how Joe develops sexual fascination with her patent perfidia, become lovers, the friends, they fuck her attacks, politicians, officers ranking the power grid. Lockjaw catches perfidia, planting a bomb, but lets her go after she agrees to have sex at a motel. Okay. So here they say she agreed to have sex. I don't remember consenting to that. Like,
yeah, she did. She was kind of forced because he was right behind her.
But you see, I know, but she said, but lets her go after she agrees to have sex at a motel. That when they said that means that there was some kind of like visual like
there was there was on screen.
Did he say I want to have sex with you? Is that something he actually said?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like something of that. I
don't remember him saying. I
don't remember the exact words. I'm awful at remembering exact fucking phrases. But that's that's definitely the vibe I got from that conversation. That he was like soliciting her for sex, so that he would allow her to plan more bombs.
I didn't even say that. I remember him saying something like weird to her, and then she turned around and then slid by him, acting like she was about to blow him, and then she just dipped off. I remember him saying anything in regard to like, yo, meeting me at a motel.
No, he definitely told her to meet us somewhere. That definitely was something.
Did I miss it then? Okay, if the plot said it, then okay, then I must have missed that.
Anyways, continuing with the recap, immediately after all that, immediately after all that, Teyana Taylor's character actually gets caught by Sean Penn, not just caught in the bathroom like you were just discussing about, but actually caught proper, where she's being taken into custody, and he's telling her, hey, we can set you up with witness protection, but you need to give us all these names of people you're with. And she caves. She rats out all of her friends. She goes to witness protection, and everyone else has to start scattering. Leonardo DiCaprio and his daughter, they also have to adopt fake identities to move somewhere else so they can live out their new lives just like Teyana Taylor is, but she doesn't actually end up sticking with her witness protection life. She ends up just ghosting Sean Penn, and just vanishes for basically the rest of the movie, more or less.
Yeah.
And then after that, we cut to 16 years later, where Sean Penn is trying to join this secret society of rich racist assholes called the Christmas Adventurers or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, the Christmas Adventurers, and one of the questions they have for him is like, "Hey, have you ever had a sexual relations outside your race or something like that?" And he's like, and of course he denies it, and now he wants to go on a manhunt for DiCaprio and the kid because he's not sure if that kid is his or not, so he needs to give any evidence in case that it is his, so he can actually join this secret society. And that ends up leading him to assemble this army to go into not Denver, but go into this Colorado city, just to go, guns blazing, fucking authoritarian shit, looking for them, which leads to everyone getting scrambled. DiCaprio's looking for his kid is looking for a place to stay, and Sean Penn is also looking for the kid to find out whether or not that's his daughter or not. And that's effectively what the main plot of the movie is. The main struggles is everyone trying to find each other in this ridiculous, absurd, well, not super absurd, but this ridiculous, intense scenario.
Yeah. Also, you have the whole plot of Willa character, or Charlene, Willa, her character, being related to Sean Penn, because that's a whole big part of like the midpoint.
Yeah. Well, that's a spoiler for later, but yes.
Sure.
But yes, we do eventually find out that that Chase Infiniti is in fact biologically related to Sean Penn, but as her character Willa says in the movie, it doesn't matter. I already have a dad. He's been raising me for 16 years.
No, I mean, what means that drives a lot of the plot in that midpoint area.
It drives a lot of the plot going forward because that sets up the climax.
Yeah, exactly. Because he has to decide to kill her, so he can, because he has to get rid of those connections to join the Christmas Adventures.
Yes,
so that becomes a big part of his journey. That's why he was a tracker down so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like, if you're not, then I can just let you go. But if you are, I can, I have to.
Yeah.
And of course, it's conflicted because that's also his daughter, so that leads to certain internal conflictions. I wish they play with that more.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie itself, I have pros and cons. You know what I mean? I felt this is one of Leo's best performances. Like, he has a lot of great performances, but this is like, I never seen like this before. I've seen like slivers of this performance in other movies, but this level of unhingedness from him is just like he's a leading man, but he's not a leading man. He's just a leading man, just devoid of all the usual charm.
Yeah, he's a scoundrel.
And gravitas. He just a fucking heathen, like there's a druggy.
Yeah, he's high, he's hungover, he's stressed and paranoid. Yes. He's all over the place.
Exactly, it's a lot of strong emotions, and at least some really good comedic moments. Like it's this whole ongoing thing with one of the call guys from the resistance as he's trying to get back in to get his daughter's coordinates to save her. He has to recite like all those the codes, whatever. Like what time it is.
What is the time?
Yeah, what's the time? And he don't remember. Like, I'm high, and it's so funny, but it's so real because that frustration of like when you're on the phone and you forget something and you have to recite it just so you can get something essential, even though it is you still have to verify your identity. And then on top of that, the stakes, you know what I mean? And his like genuine, like the persistence of this scene and this moment stretching through other scenes, to me, I felt it really has made it that much more funnier and like it's intense and like just like damn, like I feel for dude.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's really well done. I thought it's easy highlight of the movie for sure. Benicio del Toro also was awesome.
He killed us.
He has a whole lot going on here with this character, and the way it intertwines with the Leo is just, you know what I mean? Like, it really drives that
perfect
second.
foils for each other.
Yeah, it really drives that second half of the movie for sure.
Yeah, because Leo is unorganized, disheveled, a complete mess.
He has his shit together.
Yeah, like Benicio was prepped. He was prepared. Oh, he's like, oh, what? Shit's hitting the fan? Okay. Yeah. Everybody move, get out, go into the tunnels, we're going somewhere safe.
Yeah, he has his shit together for sure.
Yeah, this man is prepared for everything, and he's stone cold too. He does not give a fuck. He's like, oh, bet, good. Okay, I'm giving you my gun, I'm going to drink my beer, I'm going to drive you off.
Yeah, he makes decisions split second. So that was a great dynamic.
Like, he is a great guy at having a crisis.
Yeah. And Steampan Lockjaw is interesting. I love the way the certain choices in his performance, like the body movement.
Yeah, or the constant lip movement.
The lip movement. Yeah, the hair. Yeah, he's probably autistic. He's definitely on the autism scale.
Possibly, yeah. I can see it.
something there for sure, some kind of disorder. And I think he definitely gave some vibrancy to this maniac essentially. Definitely made him interesting as a villain.
Yeah, I completely agree. I liked Sean Penn as a villain. Like,
Yeah.
I thought he did this very well. It's actually very interesting because like, it does lead into like something I have mixed feelings about the movie. Like, because I do think the Christmas Adventure should have had more of a blow to them, like maybe more of a permanent blow at least, if not complete disassemblement. Because like I understand this is not a movie about a revolution. It is a story about revolutionaries, about the people who would fight in said revolution. And I understand that's a massive distinction, so I know better than to wish for like a Hollywood ending where everything's all wrapped up and everyone's fine and the authoritarian regime that totally doesn't actually exist is gone.
Right.
But that being said, it is a little disappointing that only we see one of them get killed, and that's cool, but that's about it. But it does set up Sean Penn as an interesting villain because he really doesn't care about either of the sides. He's a guy that doesn't really stand for anything, really. He does everything for his own game. Like, he even tells us, we see this where he talks to Teyana Taylor in the bathroom. He's like, hey, I don't care what you do. You can blow up as many buildings as you want. I just want my hat back. That really tells me everything I needed to know about him in that one line. Yeah. I thought it was very interesting to set him as the villain in this kind of story, and I think it worked very well because of Sean Penn's delivering of this absolute madman to life.
Yeah, total lunatic. Especially when he first met Leo, talk about how much he likes black women.
Yes.
Okay, bro. Whatever.
You like black women? I love them.
Black women. Yeah. Anyway, you have to say no when he's trying to get initiated into the Christmas group. Mm-hmm. It was like, there's a lot of funny moments in it too, like a lot of like dark comedic moments for sure.
Yes, and I think part of the dark comedy is that the whole Christmas theme is like a play on the satanic cult idea, and when they say "Hail Santa," it's like because Santa is an anagram for Satan. It's
Hail Hitler.
Well, that too, but given all the cult vibes, I think the satanic reference is probably more apt than the Hitler reference. Sure. But yeah, I mean, I think if that's not a dark joke PTA was doing, then I think he accidentally struck gold with that one. Yeah, it made a chuckle out of me.
And it's kind of funny, the whole concept, pretty much the whole story, pretty much essentially Leo doing whatever he has to take to save his fucking daughter, and protect her. But in reality, he keeps failing in the fucking movie, and she pretty much saves herself.
Yeah,
with the help of like Regina Hall and other people. Like,
yeah, I mean, she gets help along the way, but she does a lot more for herself.
Yeah, he does, right?
Yeah, because like Leonardo is basically just scrambling from place to place this entire movie,
just failing and making me laugh, and like, and it's like, oh my god, this dude's just fucking up.
Yeah,
repeatedly.
You think he's going to eventually save
nope,
her at the end,
but
not really. No,
it's not a moment of story where he's like, all right, get the shit together. Nope, he just stays a consistent mess.
Yeah, he's not the hero, which is kind of refreshing because the movie very much sets him up like he's going to be,
for sure.
But he straight up just isn't.
No, and I think that's what makes it interesting. That's the way this movie kind of turns it on its head.
Yeah, because I've definitely seen other movies like this where it's about some guy fighting a revolution, or some guy who's like outside the system trying to save his kid.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that kind of trope has been done before, and it's been a lot more shallow in a lot of other respects. But here we're kind of circumventing a lot of the usual Hollywood tropes to make something a little more raw, a little more real.
And I think that's exactly what's resulting in such high reviews. Now I'm really thinking about it.
Yeah, because it feels raw and real the way Hollywood movies just don't.
But then also it has another thing too where they don't really solve any problems that the movie arises.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of like Leonardo, like Teyana Taylor not coming back is a real blight on this movie. I feel because not only is her herself, but her presence that the character left.
Yeah,
literal presence.
Her absence is constantly looming over the story. Yeah. And I don't think we get a satisfying enough payoff for that. We do get the letter at the end, which I mean that's nice, but I was very much expecting her to show up again in the future, much like how Mona Simpson would eventually show up later in The Simpsons after abandoning Homer to go off on her own eco-terrorist things for decades. So I thought I was going to go somewhere in that direction. Of course, she wouldn't suddenly be played by Glenn Close, but 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 you know what I mean, that Teyana Taylor would come back and we would get more insight as she now connects with her more grown daughter.
For sure.
But yeah, we never had that, and I do think it is kind of weird that we don't have that. Maybe it's more realistic that we don't, because I can't... But still, there is a part of me that is longing for that.
Yeah, not even just because of her connection with her daughter, is more so with Leo, because she did Leo very dirty. You know what I mean? Left him with a kid that wasn't even his. She wasn't sure that was his, and then fucked off, and it pretty much abandoned their daughter before she even decided to run away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then snitch and put them all at risk. So it's like, it's a lot of and he became a drug addict. There must be a lot of complicated feelings.
Yeah.
Because he initially let her go. There's a lot of pain, and I felt they wasn't even addressed.
Yeah.
In the movie,
Yeah, and even the other, the nuns, they were talking shit about the Teyana Taylor, and I don't blame them, because she's a rat.
Yeah, she is a rat. She's not good. And I thought we definitely didn't gloss it over. Definitely talked about that. I wish we actually experienced a little bit more with that, especially from Leo's perspective.
Yeah.
On how he sees her now years later.
Honestly, there's a few things I think the movie could have gone a little more into, because just like that, I do think that this movie does draw from real imagery to make parallels, to make some of the things that are happening kind of make the movie more real.
Sure, because not everything is always solved in real life.
Yeah, exactly. For example, we do have a scene where, after the 16-year time skip, where soldiers are about to talk to fucking Lockjaw, and they're at the border. They're at where all the kids in the cages are being locked up, and we actually get to see that. I'm like, wow, the news stopped talking about that after Biden took office. Now, it's very refreshing to see a piece of media actually talk about something that the news doesn't want to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So while it is refreshing to have that in the movie, I think it could have benefited from having a little more of that. Maybe I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe I'm asking for a little too much there, but hey, overall, I'm mostly happy with the movie. But I do think there are places where it could have gone better. Mostly where we've been talking about, especially with Teyana Taylor. I think that's the biggest missed opportunity in this movie.
We come from a world where movies give certain levels of payoff, especially in Hollywood. So it's like it definitely gives some unsatisfying non-payoffs, which definitely could potentially frustrate you, depending on your depending on what you're trying to get from this movie, and depending on how you watch movies and how you enjoy movies, it can potentially really frustrate you.
Yeah,
but this movie does mimic reality, and try to subvert expectations, which is good, because we also come into Hollywood that's very predictable.
Yes.
At this point, we always recycle storylines and ideas, so you know what I mean, it's appreciative to do something a little bit original.
Yeah,
to a certain extent.
For example, as I talked to briefly before, this movie doesn't have a Hollywood ending where all the bad guys are just taken care of, the authoritarian government regime gets dismantled. That doesn't happen.
Nope.
In fact, I think the intention is to imply that there's a cyclical nature of constant rebellion, leading to people rebelling against this force that can never fully go away, leading to people becoming lost and disillusioned with the cause, like DiCaprio is.
Yeah,
I think it's a constant cycle.
Regina Hall was like that.
Yeah,
pretty much. She actually had lines about
the older revolutionaries tend to be like that, while the younger ones are more into the cause.
Yeah, because in the earlier part, she was all like. They were all on some let's do it, mad
even
hyped
Leo
up,
was
talking
like that.
shit. Yeah, Leo was like that too. You know what I mean? Like talk a whole bunch of shit. You know what I mean? Like happy, excited, elated. Refreshing. It's almost getting into a relationship in early stages. It was so much optimism, so much. You know what I mean? So much energy, so much hope. And then as they get older, life happens, and then they just get
That's why I'd say this is a movie about revolutionaries, and not about revolution.
Oh no! It's not about. Really, it's about a nigga trying to save his daughter. You know what I mean? In terms of this bare bones plot. You know what I mean? It just happens that they are revolution, but it's not part of the movie. If you watch the first 30 minutes by itself, then you could think so. But that's not. But that's why I'm kind of annoyed that the first part was so goddamn long, because that's not really the plot of the movie. You know what I'm saying? So I felt the setup also was just a little too extended.
Maybe. But we did have a lot of good moments there.
They had a lot of moments, and it gave Teyana Taylor some room to shine. But I feel generally, the story they told in that first 20 minutes could have been told in the first 10, maybe 15 at best.
Maybe. I mean, they had 40 minutes, maybe, because I can
see
it's
actually, I'm being honest, it's actually less. It's actually 40. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's 40 to 50, I think.
Honestly, it could have been. Sure, but I generally think it could have been done. I think it's fact. It could have been told 15 minutes. It wasn't much to, you know what I mean? Once you establish what they do, and her getting caught, I mean, you could have done that probably 20 minutes max. You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe, but I don't think it personally didn't detract from the enjoyment for me personally. I don't have it. Like, I'm happy with the length. I don't really think like.
Okay, sure.
I think sure, there are rooms where you could trim a little bit here and there. I'm not saying there isn't, but I don't think the runtime is a detriment, at least in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, I don't know about this where there's like a detriment, but it could definitely make the movie a lot more sharper. Mm-hmm. And to the point that because you can leave more things in doesn't mean you should. Like, who wants to really sit there and watch a 3-hour movie? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel only leave things in if it's necessary to the story, not just because I feel like, you know what I mean, just because, you know what I mean? I'm glad that, it doesn't really take anything off. But I don't necessarily add so much to it anyways, you know, other than we get to see more screen time with Teyana Taylor, you know, which is cool. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the bare bones of what they established in that first 40 minutes, straight up, like, without a fact, could have easily been told in 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's a fact, you know what I mean? Like it's nothing that's like certain movies you kind of need it because certain things lead to certain things. Like, dude kind of has to be mad long. You know what I'm saying? It's
based on a long book that's a lot.
Exactly, and it's a lot of
a lot more stuff than even this movie has.
Exactly. So this, like, you definitely don't need that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, and so it's more. It's not about like what's like palpable for the movie or what can be taken or what can be enjoyed or not enjoyed. It's more about like functionality. It's like, if it doesn't need to work, it doesn't need to work. You know what I mean? Like, if it doesn't need to be there, then it doesn't need to be there. You know?
I mean, I guess, but I don't think it really hurts the pacing at all. I think it adds.
I feel it does actually, but
you're entitled to think that. Hey, you're your old guy. You have your opinions. I think that's fine. If you think it hurts the pacing, then you're free to express that.
Yeah, because once you put things in a movie that doesn't really need to be there, it immediately hurts the pacing because the movie did feel long. You know what I mean? It did. But honestly, it really felt long once, like more like towards like the midpoint, later point as well.
Yeah.
But I think that point, the movie's already been so long that you automatically can't help but to feel that way by that point. So I can't tell it's because of the moment in the story that I'm watching or it's because we've already seen so much. Because the movie definitely, in that movie, I never felt like, this is actually kind of dragging out a little bit. Like I genuinely felt, I'm like, and I'm a fan of movies being 3 hours long, but only when it's necessary. Like Dark Knight Rises, like Dark Knight, like that kind of, I felt that like 240, that works for that kind of movie. You know what I'm saying? Where you have to explain a lot. This is a movie that actually, because that's really focused movie. It doesn't really need a whole bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this movie kind of have a straight up plot. You know what I mean? Straightforward movie, really. You know what I mean? With some details. You know what I mean? To help set up. But in movies like that, those don't need to be. It could thrive for 2 hours and 5 minutes, maybe 2:15, 2:10, even less. It could possibly been told in an hour and 50. If I'm being real,
I don't know. I can't imagine chopping up the whole like hour of this movie. I can't think of that many things I'd even want to cut.
I mean, I could exaggerate with hour and 50, but it could have been told within like by 2:05, 2. Like 2:10. Watch the movie. I mean, honestly, like, I don't see like the movie. Essentially, you're setting up what they do. Right? They said what they do. You set up their relationship. You set up the ambiguity with Lockjaw. Cool. That could be told in like 20 minutes. Establishing a new normal. Where they at? Another 20 minutes. The plot really kicks in. Everything locks in. Shit is getting real. They're coming. She has to learn about her past. Figures her shit out. You know what I mean? She meets like Regina Hall. Leo goes through shit. That's probably now at this point probably about like an hour and 20, maybe hour and a half, and then the next like 30-40 minutes is them fixing the problem. Boom. That's pretty much the structure of the movie.
Yeah,
that could have been told about.
Yeah, but again, can you name that many individual scenes you would want to trim down to get it to 2:10?
I mean, I already have to. I could, but I mean, I have to really think about each fucking scene. I'm not doing that right now. But
yeah,
I pretty much laid out the structure of what that movie was. And you tell me that couldn't have been told in 2:10?
I'm not saying it couldn't. I'm not saying I don't think it would have been better if it was told in 2:10. I don't think it would have been better. I think we've been missing a lot of good scenes if we had to shake it down to 2:10.
Nah, 2:10. I think it would have been a much cleaner, much clean cut, straight to the point. Honestly, I thought it would have been much clean cut, straight to the point. A movie. I mean, it was fine, but I felt at points in the movie, I'm like, all right, dude, it's kind of like dragging a little bit. Like, I've been here for a while. I felt that. At a certain point, I was like, yeah, I've been here for a little minute. It wasn't like, oh my god, but it's more like, all right, I'm like, oh, okay, this is longer than I expected. That's the vibe I got. You know what I mean?
I mean, I knew it was a long movie going into it, so I wasn't thinking, oh, it's long.
Maybe, because I didn't check the runtime, so maybe that's probably what it was. You probably was already in the mindset of anticipating it.
Yeah, I was already prepared for a 3-hour sit down.
But me, it was more like, like, well, this is how much longer I'm thinking it needs to be. So that comes from a perspective of like, I'm ready for this movie. Cause look at the trailer and know what the movie. I'm like, this don't seem like a 3-hour kind of movie. It's like a movie that's probably gonna be like 2 hours.
Admittedly, I was surprised lucky at the runtime. But I'm like, whoa, this is a long one.
Yeah, like I'm looking at this plot. I'm looking at the story. I don't feel it's something that needs to be told in 3 hours. I just don't. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't. It's not that kind of story that needs to be like movies like huge biopics, or based off of huge books. Movies based off of huge IP. You know what I mean? Or like a huge fucking origin story. Like those kind of stories to me could work as like a 3-hour story.
But I swear, like every time I talk to you, like you have an idea for a movie, it's like almost always 3 hours. Like, you always say,
I literally just made my point. This is my point.
Yeah, but like but I keep hearing from you, like you say you want more 3-hour movies. You want more 3-hour movies, and here we have one.
I didn't explicitly say that.
Yeah, you have.
No.
You've expressed that sentiment many times, at least to me.
But that isn't the main sentiment of what I'm saying. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with a movie being 3 hours long if it needs to be that long. Because the whole point is that I hate movies that's like feels chopped down. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean I like it in reverse, being built up for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I
wouldn't argue that this is built up for no reason. I thought this was the proper runtime for this movie, personally.
All right, so now you're claiming that it actually is proper. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I think the runtime is fine for the movie. Because I don't have any issues with it.
At first, you were way more lenient. You were more like, I mean, it probably doesn't, but it doesn't mess with the pacing. So you like the idea that it's that long.
I'm fine with the movie being that long. It doesn't bother me at all.
Okay, well, I firmly disagree, and I think I made my point about that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, hey, we can agree to disagree. You're absolutely entitled to your opinion,
and you're entitled to yours.
Exactly. Exactly. Personally, I like the story. I think if you had to cut, I can't really think of any scene that I absolutely want to cut.
I mean, you could. That's because you could literally. It's not necessarily cutting. You can actually shorten. Actually.
The only scene I can imagine cutting would be the scenes where Sean Penn comes back after the car crash. Because I was convinced he was dead when he got that shotgun to the face.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, if you want to cut that scene, fine. Where he's walking back, he deals the Christmas adventures again after that. I can make an argument for that. I can say an argument for that scene being cut. But that's like the only one I could think of where I'm like, yeah, we should cut that.
Well, no, but the whole point is that we think he's dead and he comes back. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but he comes back just to die again immediately.
It's not necessarily cutting; it's more trimming. I feel more could be. I mean, I can probably go through it and see which could be cut. But honestly, you could definitely tell the first 40 minutes could be told in 20 minutes. That's just a fact. Because essentially all you're really doing in that first 40 minutes is just establishing what they do. We don't need a whole bunch of different scenes of them doing many different things. Mm-hmm. We don't. That is a right there. You can cut and mash it off of that already. I don't need to see them doing 5 different missions. We kind of get their whole purpose. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Boom. We get them doing maybe 1 or 2 missions, right? We get some scenes with them planning, so to build a connection with her and Leo, and then we get them getting caught by Lockjaw, her doing the shit with Lockjaw, her getting pregnant, her failing her last mission. Boom. That could have been told in like 20 minutes.
It could have, but I'm not sure it would necessarily been better if it's sold in 20 minutes.
I think what it is not necessarily it may not seem better, but I think it overall affect the movie a lot differently. It'll make the movie just a lot more like to the point. You know what I mean? Like it'll make the movie a little more focused. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a fan of things being long just to be long too. As much as I don't like things being short. Because the problem, when I said what I said, my biggest beef was that these movies that they cut it for the theaters. But really, what they do, they actually bludgeon the movies down, and it feels rushed, and the pacing feels choppy.
Yeah,
and I'm cool with letting movies. I'm cool with letting movies feel longer if it makes sense for the story. In this specific story, the way the story is told, I didn't think it needed to be told in 3 hours. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm coming from. So yeah, so I'm not keep going back, but that's pretty much my point. So I'm not saying that it was a huge detriment to the movie. Like I'm not gonna say Duck 30. I'm not saying the movie's terrible because of it, but it did give a sense. It did give a sense of like, all right, this movie's still going on. Like that's how I felt. So that's a slight blight. But as I say, it wasn't like a 3-hour snooze fest. No, it's just more like, all right, it was kind of going for a while now. Like okay. And that's pretty much all that is for me. So anything else to say?
I don't think so. We've been going on for a while, and I think I have all my talking points. I don't really. If I missed one, I totally forgot about it. Frankly.
Okay. All right. I think it's good to get to scores. I think this movie, I'll give this movie about an 87.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that it circumvents the typical Hollywood narrative for sure. I feel some really strong performances in it, especially from our lead Leo. If he's gonna win an Oscar, I mean, this is definitely the role to do it for him.
Yeah. This is honestly one of my favorite performances from him.
Chase Infiniti was almost like a breakout star with this.
Yeah, I can see her going on to the places, man.
Yeah, I don't think she's like the most charismatic actress, but I think she did a good enough job. Show a lot of strength, a lot of very dynamic. So it was like
she made her character believable, and that means a lot.
Yeah,
like she really felt like she was
the
adult in this relationship.
Yeah,
that everything was like she was prepared for everything.
But every far from like the best actor in this movie. I'll say Benicio, Regina was really good.
Yeah.
And Leo.
Yeah, those are all three standouts.
And even Sean Penn also.
Sean Penn also, those are the best performances of this movie. But Chase did good too. Teyana did good too. We had good.
But she made me hanking about the fact that.
She's barely in the movie.
She's barely in the movie after a certain point. Exactly.
Yeah, but what we mean to say is. This whole cast was really solid. Absolutely. Like, you gave it an 87. I'm giving this a 90, personally. Sure. I think a flat 90 works perfectly in this movie. There are things... I do generally enjoy the movie a lot, but there are some... And while I don't have any particular gripes with it, there are some things we would have liked to see a little more of. So, that's really the reason why it's not higher than that. Well... Again, it's great that it has such rave reviews and everything. I don't think it's as high as like the highest that Rotten Tomatoes is giving it, because that's like what 97 now. I want to say
like 96, 97. Like
I wouldn't give it that high.
Yeah, no.
There have been better movies this year, and we reviewed a lot of them on the channel personally. Yeah. But that being said, this is still a really good movie, and if you're interested at all in seeing it and haven't yet, what are you doing? Get your tickets now. Fucking. Don't cancel those tickets for him. I know you're thinking of watching him. Don't watch that. That's bad.
And VistaVision. I mean, the movie's out in VistaVision for a limited time at places like Regal, Union Square. I mean, I'm thinking maybe in other areas too.
Probably.
So definitely, I'll say it's like VistaVision is like, for the people that don't know, it's like 8 per films, like very wide.
Mm-hmm.
Like perfect, like those little sprockets on top.
Yep.
I'm still learning those too, because I'm trying to study film too for my camera loader. Camera union test. Whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
But this is about to cut out. It's like just like that light.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very wide film look.
Yes.
So I mean, yes. If you're a film nerd like us, like that'll be definitely check it out in that too, because that'll be a fun experience.
Exactly. Like, I'd say this. I can imagine this looking good. VistaVision. This has a lot of wide shots.
Yeah.
So
it'll be good. VistaVision like Fargo. That'd be really cool.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I love Fargo VistaVision. That'd be amazing.
Now that's a really good movie.
Yeah.
And that was what, like 2 hours long?
No, I think it was even shorter.
Fargo's
a short movie.
Yeah. So to me, it's like it doesn't like. Yeah, so I think you misinterpreted like when I said like I like it be long. It's not like all movies need to be long. It's more like it needs to tell the story in fully. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I just felt that like some movies like could benefit from that, and they don't give it them. You know, and also I probably came off a little hypocritical, because I am going to say that the movie deserved probably more scenes with certain characters, but then wanted the movie to be shorter. I felt that they could have like sacrificed. They could trim out other things and give more. And if you want to get into more of the emotional aspect between Lee and all that kind of stuff, add more scenes that gave him that characterized his relationship a little bit more, then I wouldn't mind a movie being a little longer because of that, because that adds more layers. But however, I felt it could have been more like work within those scenes of the film itself. You know what I mean? Like just like interwoven like within more moments. You know what I mean? Especially with him and Chase, him and Chase's characters, like Teyana's character being more of a presence in that kind of way. But I guess he wanted to keep a lot of things from her, because there's a lot of sore spots, I guess, from him too. Mm-hmm. A lot of unresolved shit. Like I said, this movie is basically interesting that it does recreate real life even more than you realize, because in real life those things don't necessarily get resolved. People repress feelings, people don't talk about it, you know. But
Yeah.
it may not be as thematically satisfying, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you know it affected him a lot, you know.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that might be. I think that might even be intentional because the whole movie is called One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
It's about the fact that these battles, both the revolutionary ones and the emotional ones, will never truly end.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm reading too much of the wrong things. I might be.
I mean, no, I think you could be you could be onto something now. You know what I mean? Like, I think that could make sense because it is one battle after another, and it's multiple different forms of battles that a lot of those characters are going through.
Yeah.
Because there's so different layers, so much things that they fight against, so much different missions, so much different causes, then their own internal struggles, their growing disenchantment. You know what I mean? Like all the vigor that they had in the first half of the movie just gone. You know what I mean? Like as they got older, I guess that's why he wanted to spend a little bit more time in the opening.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's kind of like this whole Nora thing. Like you want to give enough time for the build up and then the crash. Even the thing is just from a practical perspective, I just felt like it was too much. Nora's even worse. Like I just felt it was just too much.
Because
of the
in Nora
thing.
they're just repeating themselves.
Exactly. It's the same cycle over and over. At least here it's at least a little more dynamic.
Yeah,
there's a lot of scenes.
That's why it doesn't bother me as much because I'm like I feel like I'm getting something kind of different each time.
But yeah, it is. But it's still building up. This is what they do. You know what I mean? And it's like okay, I kind of get the point. It doesn't really need to be there. But anyways,
yeah. Anyways, I think we're reaching the end of our talking points here. Unless you have anything else to add.
No, that's it.
Okay, well in that case, go see this movie in theaters. Support it if you want. Which again, support our movie. So always support your local movie theaters if you want to watch something good, which this is. So you should go watch it.
Absolutely.
Be sure to let us know what you thought of this movie down in the comments below. Hit the like, subscribe button. Keep an eye out for all of our new videos. We're going to be reviewing Tron Ares when that comes out. So keep an eye out for that. And we'll see you next time for some more content.